Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be taking an autism spectrum quotient test. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I guess let's just get right to it, guys. Okay, for each statement below, choose one response that best describes how strongly that statement applies to you. Okay, guys. Okay, so definitely agree, slightly disagree, definitely disagree. Got it. Okay. How many questions are there? Oh, that's a lot. Gee whiz. Okay. Well, I guess let's just get right to it, okay, guys? All right. Okay. Question 1. I prefer to do things with others rather than on my own. Well, I think it depends, because if I'm like at a restaurant, I'd rather be with other people, but if I'm like doing like pretty much anything else, I would rather not be with a lot of people. So let's put definitely disagree, because I usually do prefer to be on my own. All right, number 2, I prefer to do things the same way over and over again. Slightly agree. Yeah, I usually do. Sometimes I like to be spontaneous though, so that's fun. There's too many questions. I don't want to do all of this. Okay, if I try to imagine something, I find it very easy to create a picture in my mind. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I recently heard people aren't able to do this. I find that hard to believe, but whatever. Question 4. I frequently get so strongly absorbed in one thing that I lose sight of other things. Yeah, definitely. I get lost in history and politics for hours, man. It's crazy. And writing too. All right. Let's move on to the next question. I usually notice car number plates are similar strings of information. I mean, I notice them. I don't like memorize them. Interesting. Oh, I skipped a number. Number 5. I often notice small sounds when others do not. I don't know. I don't think so. Let's put slightly disagree. I don't know. Well, yeah, let's go slightly disagree. Number 7. Other people frequently tell me that what I've said is impolite, even though I think it's polite. Yes, this happens to me all the time. I honestly, I don't even know. Yeah, that happens quite often. When I'm reading a story, I can easily imagine what the characters might look like. Yeah, definitely. But, well, yeah, usually. I don't think I'm ever really right about it, though. But, yeah, I'd say I can do that. I'm fascinated by dates. Like, historic dates with women. I'm going to assume it means historic dates, and I'd say strongly agree. Number 10. Yeah, actually, just to focus on number 9 for a second. Yeah, I remember when I was in 4th grade, I memorized at least 20 different dates pertaining to World War II. And, yeah, that was very fun. I always loved memorizing dates. In a social group, I can easily keep track of several different people's conversations. No, I don't know. Maybe. Depends on what the conversations are about. Usually no, though. I don't think anyone can do that. We'll put slightly disagree, is it? Yeah, that's hard. I find social situations easy. No, definitely not. I don't know. I think only a few people find that sort of thing super easy. All right, let's move on to number 12. I tend I tend to notice details that others do not. Again, with the details thing. I mean, details is different than noises. Yeah, I'd say I do. At least a little bit. Yeah. I think being aware of your surroundings is very important. Alright, let's move on. I would rather go to a library than a party. For sure. I don't know what you're doing if you'd rather go to a party than a library. Maybe if my best friend was at the party and not the library, I'd want to go to the party. But parties are too noisy. There's too much stuff going on. And there's quite a bit of immorality that can happen at a party. You can get drunk or smoke cigarettes or do stuff with girls or something. So, and I don't think you can really do any of that in a library. You can just read, and reading's good. Reading's very nice. So, we'll move on to number 14. I find making up stories easy. Yeah, well, not easy, but I like to do it, and I do it a lot. So we'll put slightly agree. Okay. Number 15. I find myself drawn more strongly to people than things. Yeah, I think everyone is. I think that's human nature. But I am not very social unless I have to be. So I'll put slightly agree. Much rather read a book than talk to someone I don't know. But anyway, I tend to have very strong interests when I get upset. I tend to have very strong interests, which I get upset about if I can't pursue. Yeah, slightly agree. I don't know. Yeah, this happens a lot. If I'm really interested in something and I can't do it, I tend to be very disappointed. Here, I enjoy social chit-chat. They're asking a lot of the same questions here. I've noticed. I mean, a lot of these are practically the same. But no, I definitely don't enjoy chit-chat. When I talk, it isn't always easy for others to get a word in edgewise. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. If it's like something I'm interested in, that could be true. I'm talkative. That could be true, but it could be true. I'm gonna put slightly disagree because I don't think I'm usually talking about my interests, so I don't think that's usually the case. I'm fascinated by numbers. Yes, math is now that I don't have history, math is my favorite subject, so I love numbers very much. When I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the characters' intentions. Slightly disagree. I think I can get tricked sometimes, but I think I kind of get it. I don't particularly enjoy reading fiction. Yeah, strongly agree. I'm not a fan of fiction. I like informational texts. Okay, number 22. I find it hard to make new friends. I don't know if I even find it hard. I just don't do it. But we'll put strongly agree. I'm not making any new friends. I notice patterns and things all the time. Sometimes, yeah. I slightly agree to that. Patterns are interesting. It's fun to notice them. I'd rather go to the theater than to a museum. Depends on what's playing. All these questions are so vague. Depends. Generally, though, strongly disagree. I'd rather go to a museum. Museums are cooler. They teach you things, and you end up walking away with a lot more information than you would have going to a movie theater to see some liberal slop. Anyway, I digress. Number 25. It does not upset me if my daily routine is disturbed. Slightly disagree. I like how things are. I like how I do things. I don't like when I have to switch it up. Okay. Number 26. I frequently find that I don't know how to keep... Yes, strongly agree. Yes, I'll read it again. I forgot to keep reading all of it. I frequently find that I don't know how to keep a conversation going. Yeah, it's very, very difficult. I'm okay if I know the person. I'm okay for a good solid 10 minutes maybe. After that, I am at a loss of words. I have no idea. Yeah, I am not good at that. I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. I don't even know what that means. Like I know what they're actually trying to say. I'm going to put strongly disagree because I don't understand what that's asking. Okay, number 28. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than on small details. Yeah, I'm a guy, so I would say that's usually the case. I'm not very good at remembering phone numbers. Strongly disagree. I memorize phone numbers all the time. Okay. I don't usually notice small changes in a situation or a person's appearance. Strongly disagree. I'm pretty good at noticing those things. I usually know when my friends get a haircut. I know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. Actually, I can't, and that makes me very self-conscious because I don't know if whoever I'm ranting to about history or politics or sometimes theology, I don't know if they actually care. I presume they don't care because I'm usually the only person that's interested in those things. But we'll put strongly disagree. It's very hard to tell. I'm always very insecure about that. I find it easy to do more than one thing at once. I mean, no. I mean, sometimes, but I don't do it well. But slightly disagree. When I talk on the phone, I'm not sure when it's my turn to speak. Yeah, definitely. I'm really bad at talking on the phone, unless it's this one specific person. Then I'm really good at talking on the phone with them. But everyone else, I'm terribly bad at it, and it's very awkward, and I don't know when to speak. All right. I enjoy doing things spontaneously. Well, I mean, no, not usually, but slightly disagree. I'm usually not. Right. Unless it's with this specific friend I have, but I don't know. I'm not really into spontaneous. I would rather do something textbook or usual that we usually do. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to do something foolish or stupid. I am often the last to understand the point of a joke. No, I'm pretty funny. I'm a pretty funny guy. I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face. Slightly disagree. I've been told... I thought I was okay at this, but I've been told many times that I'm actually really bad at it. So I'll trust them and take into account my own biases, but slightly agree. Okay. Yeah, I've been told many times I'm actually very bad at that, but whatever. If there is an interruption, I can switch back to what I was doing very quickly. I feel like these are more like ADHD questions and autism questions, but whatever. Slightly disagree. No, I get distracted and my teachers will attest to that fact. I'm good at social chit-chat. Isn't this the same question as earlier? Well, let's go back. I'm pretty sure this is like the same. Oh, I enjoy. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, strongly disagree. I'm not winning any points there. People often tell me that I keep going on and on about the same thing. Slightly agree. Yeah, if we're talking about history or politics, yeah, that usually happens. When I was young, I used to enjoy playing games involving pretending with other children. Slightly disagree. I didn't really have any friends growing up, so no, not really. I like to collect information about category. Yes, I like to collect information about categories of things Example, types of cars, birds, trains, plants. Yes, most certainly. I love that sort of thing. I love cars. I love cars. And I also like football players. Not, oh no, oh that's gonna get clipped. No, I mean I like to NFL players. Yes, there you go. And history. I find it difficult to imagine what it would be like to be someone. Yeah, slightly agree. Empathy is it's easy, but then it's not, because can you really understand how that person actually is feeling, and you really put yourself in their position? I would say sometimes, but I don't think I can really truly do that correctly. I don't think anyone can. I like to carefully plan any activities I participate in. Yes, planning's good. We'll put very good, actually. Planning things is good. Things should be organized. I enjoy social occasions. Strongly disagree. We've been over this several times already. I find it difficult to work out people's intentions. They just keep asking. They keep talking in circles. They've asked the same questions in 5 different ways, around 44 times already. I guess we'll just put slightly agree. Actually, I don't trust anyone. Yeah, I always think I know people's intentions and they do something else. So we'll put, obviously I'm not as smart as I think I am when it comes to that. New situations make me anxious. Yeah, strongly agree. That's very difficult. Of course you adapt to things in the end, but it is very reckoning. We're nearing the end here. Number 47. I enjoy meeting new people. Okay, again with this. No, I don't. I'd rather do anything else. I'm a good diplomat. I'm okay at it, but I feel like I'm too aggressive in my arguing. I find it very unbecoming. I feel, usually when I get in arguments, I walk away feeling bad about it. I'll put slightly disagree, because I don't know. Sometimes I am, but a lot of times I have a problem with being uncharitable in the argument department. I'm not very good at remembering people's date of birth. No, I'm super good at that. I know everyone's date of birth. Well, everyone that tells me. I find it very easy to play games with children. I don't usually play games with children, so this doesn't really pertain to me. I'm gonna put, I guess, slightly disagree. I don't really know. Now let's see the score. 41 out of a possible 50. That is not good, folks. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. This is an online test. I don't think it really matters. Concerned about your score? Chat with a licensed therapist. Yeah, I'm okay. I think I'll do just fine without a licensed therapist. Interesting. 41 out of 50. Not what I thought would happen there. Okay. Well, that's about it, folks. Goodbye. God bless.